my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. So, what's in your closet? We are on wrap-up day, and I promised you another quilt parade of all finished tops and a few finished quilts by you and you and you. And so we're going to do that. Behind me is hanging my solstice. This is what started the block Wednesdays, and so I said I would hang it up. It is a big girl quilt. It is big and it is long. If you go to my website today, there is a full picture, and of course I've been showing you individual blocks, but if you go back through the solstice patterns, which are still on my website, you can see the individual blocks. But on my website today, at the article, I will put the full quilt for you to see, and it's at the project page too, so just go to the project page. But there's a little backdrop of it. So first let's do the parade, and then after that I'm going to tell you a bit about the Virginia Quilt Museum, and then we're going to wrap up with kicking off the picnic quilt. We're going to kick off with some creativity. Anne took some of the blocks that she had from another project, which are the four corners, and then she added those to the blocks from What's in Your Closet. So super cool. It's a great way to take some of the blocks that you need to do something with and do a project. April's gorgeous. I love her floral blacks, reds, browns. So beautiful. Arlene's has the sailboat fabric. This turned out so fantastic. She's got super cool fabrics in there. Love the peach accents. Carol, gorgeous in blue and yellow. It's a classic and always will be. Oh, she did my little applique basket too. Yay! This is a different Carol, and she has the Halloween or fall looking fabrics, blacks, oranges, just awesome. Bird fabric in there. Christine's looks like summer. Looks like summer. Pinks, yellows, summer blue, pops of green. Beautiful. Debbie's is fantastic. I just love it. She's using my Promise Me, so you can see the big roses there. Debbie, oh look, another option. She did flying geese on the top and the bottom and used all of the 12-inch size blocks. Super cute with, I see some red and white polka dot. Can't go wrong with that. Cannot go wrong. Deneen, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. She's using my drawing room fabric, but different placement of the fabric than I did. And I love her sashings. The blue, pulling that blue in there looks so good. Looks so different than mine. DH is pretty in pink. Look at that. Pinks and greens. And it's quilted. Oh my goodness. Okay, extra points for having it quilted. Diane's, gorgeous, gorgeous. Teals, pinks, grays. Everything is so fantastic with those great big florals. Jan's, I love it. She's got a bit of text print in her sashings, and these also has some gorgeous, gorgeous florals. That lemon yellow and green. Love it. And she did my basket too. Extra points for everybody who did some applique. I love it. Kathy, love this. Yellows, and look at the board. She put a border on. You'll see a few people I may have not mentioned earlier. I don't know now, but some of you put some borders on to pull it together, and it looks so good. Loving it. Kendall, our ambassador, and this is his red, white, and blue. So fabulous, Kendall. And he did mostly light sashing. So for those of you who haven't done your sashing yet and you're looking at options, and he switched out a few things, like he put a square and a square inside where the basket is. And remember, he does videos on my sew-alongs and other ones he does. And here is his second. He did two of them. Kendall, you're an overachiever. Again, he used all light sashing. So you can really see how that changes up the look of the project. The blocks really do float. Kim's, oh my goodness, look at all the polka dots. Oh my goodness, I love it. The black and white polka dots and the sashings, and then she has a bunch of Tula Pink image fabric bunnies and goldfish. Oh, they are so fantastic. I think I maybe see a little monkey in there. Leslie's is a kind of a rainbow effect, right? Purples, oranges, yellows, teal and aqua. This is fantastic. How exciting to plan it out so that you get that rainbow effect. Leslie's beautiful. She substituted a few blocks. I can't remember whether she had them from, some test blocks. Yeah, so she had test blocks from some other things. So she has some flying geese in her sashing. Kitty cat block, kitty fabrics. Love it. Linda's beautiful, beautiful. She used all the same size blocks, did the basket, and has a border. Just those fabrics are so great. Here's our ambassador, Melissa. Yeah, she said she had to wait for a nice day to put it out on the clothesline. And she did my basket. But that's got the bare fabric, and her black and white checkerboard is awesome. Sharon has a pretty in pink, which that's what she's naming it. And she made it just a little bit larger with a border. She's got it's kind of a chevron border on there in pink and white. Gorgeous. Sheila, so pretty. I love the red and white checkerboard, of course, red and white, and the blue. It's got a red, white, and blue vibe, and a basket. Sorry if I miss pointing out the baskets on anybody's, but I'm trying to. Sherry's, this is so beautiful. Again, black and white checkerboard for the win, and hers has a lot of blue in it. Looks fantastic. Teresa's, pinks and greens. Oh, so gorgeous. Very, very pretty. Only a couple more. Terry's. This is fantastic. Her fabrics are really cool. It looks like kind of like they're indigos, and I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of. It's not like over dyes or something, but I love it. And that sort of rust color with the blue. Valerie, beautiful aquas with black accents, gold or greeny yellow. It's really, really wonderful. I love it. And the last one, is this the last one from Vicky? Yes. She used my drawing room and did the 12-inch size and a piano keyboarder. Look at this. It is so fantastic. I love seeing my drawing room being used by all of you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody who has shared photos. They are just so amazing. And people are still sharing. So go on out there to Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. That's the place to see the pictures. And it's Block Wednesday. The next one will be starting later in June, in about 4 weeks. It'll be on the calendar, the exact day, and it's on the project page right now for June. And it's with the Jelly Roll book. If you're looking to do a quilt along, my friend Kendall, who is also one of the ambassadors, has a YouTube channel here. And he is doing a quilt along with this darling butterfly quilt. So if you are itching to make a butterfly quilt and some pretty flowers, just sew along with Kendall. And if you do me a favor, go over and subscribe to his YouTube channel. He helps me so much, and it would be awesome if you support him as well, since he helps make everything run so smoothly, as do all the other friends of mine who volunteer as ambassadors to move things along, keep things on track. Well, let's talk about the Virginia Quilt Museum. If you are a member, then you will have gotten the notice already that the Virginia Quilt Museum is relocating to the town next door. They are moving to a new building, and there's a whole variety of reasons that has to happen, and is a good choice for everything all around. I thought I'd just touch on the highlights of that, and I have some notes so that I don't say something incorrectly. But they are moving from downtown Harrisonburg, and they are in the pre-Civil War home, the Warren-Sipe House. The Warren-Sipe House was given to the museum with a bunch of different stipulations from the city of Harrisonburg, but one of the things is they had to do all the maintenance on it. That house that they're in Harrisonburg is not ADA compliant, meaning that many of the wonderful guests cannot go to the second floor of the building, of the home. Being not ADA compliant meant that the museum was not eligible for funding, lots of different funding that could happen, grants from the government and things like that. Plus the fact that you couldn't see, many people could not see the second story exhibits. So this was never a good solution, but now the home needs a lot of repairs. that are very, very costly. And the board of directors for the museum came to the conclusion that it was time to find a new place that they could rent, and therefore the landlord would take care of the fees, and it would be ADA compliant, meaning the second story could be accessible to everybody who visits. Yay! So they are moving. Let me just put some pictures up while I talk. They're moving to 7 miles away to Dayton, and Dayton has this historic mill called the Silver Lake Mill, and that mill is owned by Cheryl Lyon, and she has owned it for 25 years. As she says, she's the caretaker. It is a historic mill, and the mill runs. So there's a picture of the mill outside of it running. Here's what she said. She said having the Virginia Quilt Museum rent in the building brings boundless art and history, and it creates accessibility for the public. She says, I could not possibly hope for more. I am so delighted. She is putting in the lift, so the lift won't be there when they open, but it will be there soon. The elevator is on order and will be installed. This mill was the mill was built in 1822, so it's on the Civil War Trail. It is a gorgeous building. I cannot wait to see it. The museum closes on June 15th in Harrisonburg and reopens 2 weeks later on June 29th in Dayton. What they are doing is the air conditioning systems are about out in the Harrisonburg home, which means it'll be extremely uncomfortable once it's warm there. And of course, it's not that great for the textiles. So for a couple of weeks, they'll survive. But the museum can move their exhibits and the basic office things and reopen on June 29th. Then they can take time to move the rest of the facility. 29 years they've been in Harrisonburg building. So they need to go through that in an organized manner and relocate it to the new facility. And they can take their time doing that because the building will just sitting there for them to use in Harrisonburg. The building does revert back once it is no longer a museum. It does go back to the city of Harrisonburg. The museum cannot own it, and that's just the stipulations of when it was given to them. I'm linked down below to the video by the director of the Virginia Quilt Museum and the president of the board. There is also some links to the new mill, and if you would like to donate to the museum, they could really use a little help. They're still expensive. It's like painting and lighting and some other things that have to be done in the new facility to be ready for museum exhibits, because it was not, of course, set up that way. So I hope you will do that as well. So let's wrap up with the picnic quilt. What happened is the other night that I decided I really wanted to get my squares cut, and it was late. I hadn't been set up for filming, but I thought, you know what? We're all friends here. And so I put a little lipstick on and turned on the camera. And so I want to show you getting these ready in the fabrics that I'm using. Let's go. So it's 5:30 p.m. and I've done no other filming today. So I want to do this filming because I want to play around with the fabric on my design wall tonight. And in order to do that, I've got to film this so that you can see it. I can't really reenact this. What happened is I didn't have very many charm packs. I know. How does that happen? I often have quite a nice little collection of charm packs, and I currently don't have anything that's newer or even really worked for a picnic quilt. And I'm being lazy. I don't want to cut all those squares for the multi-fabric part of the picnic quilt. So once again, we have 3 fabrics: your background, your dark center, and then this multi, which they're saying 10 fat quarters, or I'm going to use the charm pack, but I don't have a charm pack. I did have a few Jolly Bars, and so Jolly Bars are basically half a layer cake or 2 charm packs if you cut them in half. And one would have been okay, but it wasn't speaking to me. And so our ambassador Suzanne said, why don't you cut up a layer cake? And then also the layer cake lets me just pull out the fabrics that I kind of want. I can have more duplicates rather than using just the charm pack. And for that, what do we need? From that we need 112 anyway, so you have to have more than one charm pack. So actually, yeah, this works out perfectly for a layer cake. And I happen to have one that I think will be awesome. Yay! So did I mention I haven't filmed anything today? So like I'm on non-filming mode, but I do want to show you all this. So I am going to use this line, Willow. I think it just feels very summery. Plus, I have got plenty of this teal that goes with it. So that is perfect. That's perfect. So I need to pick a background. First, just look. This light green, which is just so yummy. And it has some other really fun fabrics. Stripe, greens. Ah, love that green. Love these greens. And there's multis. Peaches. So I'm going to have to keep to the lighter tones. Yellow, some yellow in here. I'm going to keep to the lighter tones on this, which means none of this darker aqua. I could use that one, and maybe this one and that one. But these darker ones, no, because they're going to be too much like the background. But the dark square, and it will compete. So pretty much all of those will go. Oh, look how pretty that is. Look how pretty. So I'm not using any of those, which leaves me this whole stack here. And I need to have them into 5-inch squares. And even the greens, I may pull, okay, gonna do it. I'm gonna pull all these dark greens out because they're just, they're dark. Look at that. See, they're going to compete. They're going to compete. What about this light one? What do you think? What do you think? Can that stay in? Think not. So, it's good I had maybe this lighter one. But if I pull all the greens, then, well, I could leave that one because it's got the aqua too. So if I pull all the greens, then I have to see, do I have enough? And what did I say, 100 and something? I need 112. So I will do some math. Hold on. Well, it turns out I am going to need that layer cake. Let's look at some calculations here because I have 112 charm packs. Taking this, or 112 5-inch squares. Taking this 10-inch squares, cutting them in 4s, gives me 112 from the colors that I kept, So I have 21 pieces times 4. Okay, since there's 21 pieces here, times 4, 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. When I cut it in 4s, and that'll give me 84 5-inch squares. So 112 is what I need minus 84, which means I need 28 more squares. So I could either take a few out of here or just go in my stash. And I think I'm going to just go in my stash. There's a lot of peach, a little bit of yellow. So I'm going to go and pull a few more yellow and then see if I can get a few more of these minty green. See if I have anything that works in the minty green. Let me look. So I found 3 greens. One's a little bit more aqua, but I think with the cherries and because they have a peach in them, that'll just be fun to add. This is my birdsong fabric, and this is another kind of tonal. Then for the yellow, which was a lot easier, this green is different. This is a different kind of minty green, and so it's not really something you have to hunt through. Now for the gold, that's easy. So I just pulled 2 more like this for that. One's lighter. They're both lighter, but there's the other gold. I think they'll work in good because the little bees will be really sweet and cute. Okay, so from each of these, since I need 28 of them. There's 5 fabrics, 3 of the green and 2 of the gold. So that means 28 divided by 5, because I have how many from each of these? So about 6. If I do 6 from each, there'll be a few I don't use, or I could just do maybe a few less of like 5 of this one. Yeah, maybe 5 of that one since it's a bit more tonal. And so, okay, so let's cut. Let me show you how I'm going to cut them. I'm going to use the Perfect 10 ruler. This is designed for the Perfect 10 book, and it is for 10-inch squares. So it fits perfectly on the 10-inch squares. I am not going to try to cut through all 21 pieces at once. So I just took a chunk of them, and then on this ruler, there's a 5-inch mark. See, it's set up for this square. So I've got a 5-inch mark right here, and I can just cut right down the middle. And then what I want to do is cut the other way. So I have got the same 5-inch mark this way, and whoops, that one slid a little bit on the top there. The top guy did. Okay, got it straightened out. So now I can just go and cut the other direction. Oops, get it down here, Pat. Okay, cut the other direction and get these all into 5-inch squares. So the layer cake turns into 4 charm packs. And I will go through and cut all of these, and then I will start cutting the dark. For the light, I have 2 of my fabrics. This one is from Porch Swing. It's got the smaller print from Porch Swing, and then this is from Paradise Park, and it's got that gorgeous blossom on it. I'm kind of leaning towards this one, but I'm not going to cut either of them quite yet. What I will do is probably cut a chunk and then audition the fabrics on top once I have some of them so I can see. So I am probably going to cut a few more of the peach, and then I'll have a little bit of a selection, and then I can audition just to be sure everything is going to look good. Okay, so I have them all cut, and then tomorrow I will show you them up on the design wall, and we will look at my 2 options for the background fabric. So I am super excited about this because it needs to stay on the wall, like I said, and sewn right through, and that's what we'll be doing. So we're going to focus on that in tomorrow's video, and every video until it's done there'll be something about the picnic quilt. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.